And thank you, Emmanuel. We'll take it from there. And then we'll have our next guest join us this morning. And Mr. Rotimi Fashakin is a member of the APC. Morning, and thank you for coming on today.
Good morning, Chamberlain.
The last time you were here,
and
you were in opposition when you sat here last.
Yeah.
But now you are in government, and many have said, stop complaining, get down to work. They think you're wasting your party now so much time doing nothing.
Yeah, thank you very much. And once again, good morning. Thanks for having me. I listened to your last guest, that's Mr. Segun Shomi. No doubt he's a patriot. He's, you know, I love his energy, you know. But the problem with smoothies is that they talk faster than they hear, and they talk faster than they even reason. You know, that's the problem with smoothies. Let me tell you something. He mentioned about the problem in the Senate. You know, no doubt it's an infradig. You know, what we are witnessing in the Senate is a misnomer. But take Ikweremadu. I mean, he tried to exculpate PDP from the entire mess that we found ourselves in the Senate.
Are you blaming PDP for this?
But no. You see, if Ikweremadu had not put himself forward for election, will he have been elected?
Anybody could put themselves up for any position.
Wait, yeah, it's a democracy.
Isn't it?
Yeah, that's like, okay, now let me tell you something. As at the time that Bukola Saraki was declared unopposed, was elected unopposed, you know, supposedly in the Senate at that time, PDP had more majority. Why didn't they put David Mark as, you know, why didn't they put him forward for the position of Senate President?
But he said,
it was because, listen, it was because there was a deal. And we cannot run away from that fact.
But in politics, let's
leave that.
Do this all the time.
Let's leave that.
Don't they?
Yeah,
but he says that your party should blame themselves because they were at the wrong place at the wrong time, doing the wrong things. Yeah. And then they got themselves stung.
The whole thing, it started from so many wrong things ab initio. You understand me? So, yes, I admit there were some wrong things done. I mean, that thing was not managed, you know, properly. The party had a position. The party did not really take side. The party conducted a straw poll to, you know, give the two contending.
Many said that was the beginning of this situation you find yourself in.
The fact was, how else would the party have, you know, helped the situation? It was akin to the presidential primaries that the party, you know, had to add cost to say this on. I mean, while I was in Abuja, you know, the party. I mean, it was akin to the presidential primaries that the party, you know, had to conduct for 5 contending party members. 5 aspiring party members who wanted to be presidential candidates.
But it wasn't.
You know, so the party had to conduct a presidential primary. So the straw poll that the party conducted, you know, I mean, it can be.
You're likening it to the presidential primary. Is that what you're doing? The difference is that some people will say that your own party constitution provides for a presidential primaries. In fact, Nigerians look forward to a presidential primaries. However, there is no provision for a straw poll in your own party constitution, or is there?
No, yeah, agreed. But the fact was, yet in a situation where there was contention, you know, among 2 strong members in the party for the same position, you know, what the party did was to say, okay, all of you, I mean, we know we have majority in the Senate.
Straw poll, which was boycotted by people who also attended because you would not conduct it in a manner that, you know, they felt was fair. How would you talk about fairness in a situation where the senators elect within the party, I think about 59 members in all, you know, were supposed to be present, you know,
So for the straw poll.
For the straw poll.
No, but permit me to jump in. They said that on the agenda on that day, there was no indication whatsoever that you were going to have a straw poll, that it was an ambush. They were shocked to see that there was a straw poll. And then they said, okay, no problem. If you do the straw poll, we will do it. But could you give us time? And then we'll come back and do it. And they said, the party said no, that you do it there and then.
You know, what it's important, like I said earlier, there were, really aspects of mismanagement of the process and all those things. And one thing led to another before we found ourselves in this quagmire, you know. And I want to say clearly that the party, you know, is also trying hard, to see how to manage this. No doubt it was a very, very bad situation, a very bad way to start, you know, I agree, you know, but, you know, we are also saying that, look, away from what my brother Segun Showunmi had said earlier, this was facilitated. This was made possible the more because, you know, of the fact that PDP too wanted to exacerbate the situation. That's number one. PDP also wanted to, was also part, you know, of ensuring. So we cannot run away from that.
Mr. Showunmi said something here, implying that the APC was not prepared in 16 years of watching the PDP run the government and run the National Assembly. The APC was not prepared. If not, how is it that you get to a point where you want, your constitution has nothing to say about straw polls, but you want to create a straw poll for your team in the National Assembly? Yeah,
Nyota, clearly, let me just say to you, so that we don't waste too much time on this. Let me say clearly to you that a constitution cannot give everything, just like Nigerian constitution too, cannot give the exact thing in all scenarios, cannot, you know, play back or try to tell you what in every scenario, what should be done in all scenarios, all that, like that. It's not possible, you know. There is still a great deal of discretion to be used. It's about the affairs of man. You know, it's about human affairs. And human affairs, there's a need for sometimes.
But did your party also take into consideration the fact that the National Assembly has its own workings, has its own system? You
know, you see, I've had this said a lot of time, and then you find out that people cannot really come to real agreement about it, because people will always say that, look, it's about the egg and the chicken, you know. The National Assembly, you have, like, you know, those days when we were in modern mathematics, we have the universal set and you have the subset. You know, the National Assembly is a subset. Those of them in the business.
Okay, Mr. President, let's see if we can move to some other issues. That phrase he used about not being prepared in 16 years to rule the nation, is that being made obvious now by reason of the fact that he says there's no policy direction?
Well, he was talking from both sides of the mouth with that. That's not what we see on ground. See, the fact
is there a policy direction?
Definitely there is a policy direction, and we are all seeing it. Let me tell you something. The party, the president, you know, who is now the leader of the party, you know, has made it abundantly clear. He still reiterated the same point yesterday, you know, at the party, you know, in Aso Villa, what he intends to do and what his policy thrust shall be. He has said it times without number, you know, for the obtained time, for anyone who cares to listen. And see, what people mistake for lack of policy direction or something like that is that they are expecting to see a president who will just come in and from day one sack those one, sack this one, appoint that one, appoint this one. That is no longer fashionable in governance of a nation. Let me give you some cogent examples. President Muhammadu Buhari came into power on May 29th. ordinarily, for most other presidents that we have had, he would have sacked the service chiefs that he inherited. In fact, some have bombarded my phone call by my phone with this. What's he still doing with these service chiefs? And that kind of thing. You know.
Do they bombard you with the ministers?
No, wait, I'm coming. Let's talk about this. Let's take one issue at a time.
I'm just looking at the time so you can have a lot of time to
no, sir. So the service chiefs, look at the appointment of the service chiefs now. We have the benefit of making comparison here so that we can inform Nigerians adequately. When Jonathan, the last appointment, the last, reshufflement of the service chiefs, that the former President Jonathan did, Lieutenant General Iyejirika, was of the course 18 in NDA. He wanted to appoint General Kenneth Minima, who was of course, and he appointed General Kenneth, who was of course 25. What that meant was that people from course 19, course 20, course 21, course 22, course 23,